giving you the latest and most talked about current social issues and trends.
Sharing different sides of a story and enlightening you through contrasting perspectives and points of view. It is a dire need to wake up and stay informed.
Good day, Thomasians. I am Angel De Castro.
And I am Sherwin Harrell here on another interesting episode of Wake Up Thomasians.
Before the break, we talked about the Filipinos' dependency on the media. You're still with me, Angel De Castro.
And me, Sherwin Harrell. Welcome back to
Wake up, Thomasians! For the longest time, we have relied on media to deliver credible news and accurate information about the events, situations, and circumstances surrounding our world.
Yeah, and furthermore, we have considered the media as a crucial part of our existence and even our identity. It has influenced the minds and lifestyles of people from all walks of life, which is why it's time we hear what it is they have to say.
Thomasians, let us join AJ Supe as he goes around and deliver the opinions of our fellow Thomasians here on
Am I Right?
Our dependence on the media is largely due to the fact that mass media is a powerful body of information that can influence one's thoughts, beliefs, and traditions. However, looking at the bigger picture, how exactly has media affected the overall growth and development of our society? Good day, Tigers. I am AJ Supe, and join me as I go around UST to ask our fellow Thomasians on their thoughts and opinions on the impact of media to the current state of our society. So, am I right to think that media has a large impact in our society?
Media has an impact in our society because I believe that firstly, media is a broad aspect that involves the mass. And may influence yung media kasi siya yung nagiging source of information ng tao. So
Yes.
we as part of the masses, we shall be critical of the information that we get.
For me po, yes po. Kasi kailangan maging aware ka sa mga sinasabi mo online. Kasi at times, siguro may mga sasabi ka na possible na may ma-hurt na iba. So kailangan maging aware ka sa words mo and yung the way na mag-express ka ng thoughts mo, kailangan maayos din para to make sure na wala kang ma-hurt and ma-offend.
Malaki po yung influence niya sa akin kasi nowadays, parang yung information one click away na lang. Unlike dati na parang kailangan mo pang pumunta sa ibang place para sa source. So, it can change the way you think easier than that.
Kasi kahit ano pong pinopost natin, nakikita ko yung mga iba. Tapos there are one-sided lang. Kasi pag nagpo-post ka, mostly it's just one-sided.
Yeah.
You don't know the two sides of the story. The influence. So, ang laki ng impact nun. For example, pag nag-post ako about something na, kunwari, binubuli ako. Tapos minsan, we don't really know.
Yeah.
Hindi pala yung totoo. Ganun po. So, ang laki po ng impact. Kasi, minsan po, kung ano pinopostin po ng mga influencers na
Yeah.
trends or like it's fashion, minsan nagagaya na lang po and it turns into yung fashion po ng society.
Ang media po napakalaki po ng impluwensya sa bawat tao, hindi lang po sa Pilipinas, tsaka na rin po sa buong mundo dahil ang bawat impormasyon na pinapahatid sa media siyang magbibigay ng liwanag kung ano ba yung nangyayari sa atin. Tulad na lang po rin, nag-aaral ako, wala na akong oras para alamin kung ano talaga nangyayari. So yung media minsan, ang nagbibigay sa akin ng impormasyon kung yun pala talaga nangyayari. Bilang tao, huwag sana tayo maniwala agad, lalo na kung parang medyo hindi ka panipaniwala. At gawin natin lagi yung ating makakaya para alamin kung ano yung pinakatotoo. At doon tayo matututo kung ano ba dapat ang gawin.
Definitely, because people now rely on media sometimes in information like for news. Nowadays, people or specifically the Gen Z and millennials, they somehow rely on internet, and that includes social media,
Yeah.
and they get information in social media. So it really affects because they tend to rely on that more than the other media.
And there you have it, Tigers. We have finally heard the voices of our fellow Thomasians. It's always so refreshing to hear the students of the university speak up on topics that are relevant to our everyday lives. Once again, I am AJ Supe, and join me again next time as I go around UST to know the thoughts of and opinions of our fellow Thomasians, only here on Am I Right?
You know, it was really interesting to hear the thoughts of our Tamashans on such a relevant matter. And personally, I do believe that social media brings us all together because with just one click, you're already a part of the conversation.
Yeah, Angel, it was really heartwarming for me to see that because our generation has kind of been raised by the media, right? So to see Thomasians talk so positively about the media landscape like that, sobrang nakakataba ng puso.
Hmm. And it's nice to know of the different ways it has impacted our lives, right, Sherwin? And so we know that there are still so many questions in your mind, and I know that I have a lot in my mind as well, which is why after the break, we'll return with a guest from the Department of Communication and Media Studies and a writer for Rappler and Inquirer to help us understand and dig deeper into the matter of the media's role and influence.
Stay tuned and wake up Thomasians. We'll be right back. Tigers, while we have already established that the media is a powerful figure, what with its ability to influence and shape public opinion, it's important that we're well aware of its different aspects and the consequences of its harmful misuse. Let us welcome Jose Mojica from the Department of Communication and Media Studies and a writer for Rappler and Inquirer here to join us in today's discussion. Hello, sir. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Meet
again.
Angel, sir. Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
sir.
Nice to meet
Yes,
you.
sir. Okay, sir. So considering the digital age,
Right.
would you say Filipinos are more dependent now on media than ever before?
I think, well, yeah, we can say that Filipinos are dependent only because of the practical purposes. Like, we use media for work, say students or communication, and all these things is basically the effect of modernization, and we have to adapt to it. And I think that dependence is only because it's the call of the times, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think are the positive and negative effects of media in our daily lives or lives?
Right. So the positive effects would be number one, entertainment. We use it for entertainment. Second would be education and information. Third is it's an avenue for discussions and we get to talk about things. And the fourth would be a watchdog, especially with what's happening right now. There's so many things that's been happening. So these are the positive things. Like we could really use it for greater good. The negative things, however, would be yeah, there's so much information that we need to constantly recheck, fact check. Also, at times, social media, for example, causes a lot of anxiety because you get to compare yourself with people. And yeah, because it's been chunks of information, sometimes we lose the ability to think
Yeah.
deep thoughts.
Would you say, sir, it's even worse for the younger generations?
No, much difficult. Not, I cannot say that it's worse, but it's much more difficult because we don't know, especially the kids, they don't know how to
Yeah.
use it properly. Yeah.
Well, such a huge part of our lives now, sir, social media and media in general. Do you think the way the public thinks now, it's shaped a lot by that?
Yeah, well, generally, media shapes how we think. From traditional media and new media, they actually shape our opinion. But I feel like the problem now is there's an increased subjectivity that anyone can just produce content. Both the consumers right now, they're also the producers. And so I feel like, yeah, the shaping, unlike before, there are gatekeepers, say, in traditional media,
Parang
they're
one-sided lang before.
one-sided, and well, they are trained. Okay, so which information do they give and all? Now, practically anybody could produce content. And so the influence is much more dangerous, I guess, because like not everyone is trained how to share an information.
And you talked about that, sir, like YouTube, right? Content creators can be anyone now.
Right, right.
And that also means that anyone can watch this YouTuber, this or that YouTuber.
Right.
So it's more spread out now than ever before.
It is. In media, we call it participatory culture, right? Anybody could, yeah, basically participate in this realm of what we call, well, social media or new media in general. And yeah, it's interesting sometimes because you get to see talents from all over the world. But yeah, the negative thing also is sometimes content creators are, producing contents that are not very much cultivated, I would say. Yeah.
Do you think that's gonna continue, sir?
It will, and I think it's also a lot of challenge for the traditional media. You mentioned earlier in your um, spiel or talk that, yeah, people need to adapt. Like traditional media or print media, some of them are having a difficult time because, yeah, this is the new age. And yeah, I think it's gonna continue, but where it's going, we don't know yet because it's so unpredictable.
Yes, and let's go to the deeper side of media, which is the news, something
Right,
that is
right.
really relevant in our daily lives and affects our daily lives. Do you think, in your expertise, do you think that fake news is a lifelong battle that we have to every day, encounter?
Right. First, well, I'm glad that people are aware of this, that we know that there's fake news, and that's I think the first step. That we address it. Okay, so okay, there's fake news, and from there, yeah, we need to constantly double check, fact check, and but yeah, I think that's where the problem lies because in traditional media, it's the media itself that's doing the fact checking.
Yes.
Okay, now because anybody's putting content out there, it's now our responsibility as consumers to do it. And so yeah, if we're well lazy, say to double check, then yeah, the danger of fake news and its effect is very much high.
And since the media is not perfect at all, as what you have mentioned a while ago, that every information is just being given right there and then, how can we practice vigilance in what we see and read in the media specifically?
Right. I think, yeah, always doubt your sources, no, whether it's you think it's reliable because some trolls
Yes.
they use the username like they follow the actual username and then insert one word or one letter there so it reads correct. Say the New Yorker, and then it's the New Yorkers pala when you check it. So it basically looks like the New Yorker, but it's not the actual New Yorker. And people would sometimes pass it or think that it's the real news. Second thing, if it's fake news, don't reshare the actual article. Just say that there's been a circulation of this thing, but don't include the article because sometimes trolls just want the circulation regardless of its I mean users saying it's fake news or whatnot. So yeah, I like the word vigilance. Yeah, we need to do that, and yeah, we need to from time to time, well, always double check our sources.
Yeah. So there's a lesson here, sir, that you as a reader or a consumer, you have to be able to look for yourself if it's reliable, if it's
Right.
legit, because madaling ma-fool talaga yung mga tao
Very much.
these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so moderation. I think that's a big word for today. How can we exercise the right amount of moderation when we depend on the media?
Right. I still believe that there has to be a balance of consumption. We consume new media, that's okay, but we also consume traditional media. And basically, the idea is we just want to, well, keep looking at both sources. Like, what is traditional media saying? What is new media saying? And, well, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's still our responsibility to decide. But what's nice thing about it is, we can talk to our friends and analyze like together, see where or what the story is actually saying.
Okay. Well, you, sir, as I think you've been a communication professor for how many years now?
For quite some time, some
Quite some-
years now, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered some bad cases of misinformation, especially with the students? You know.
Many times, yeah. And that's why I like beginning my classes with discussions of certain issues. I want to hear their side and stories. Like, yeah, not just the students, even I became a victim. And I write for publications, and sometimes we receive information that's actually not true. Okay, so yeah, is for misinformation is really difficult to counter.
Yes.
And until now, we are still doing ways how to fix that, or how to make it better.
Okay. Well, Angel, I had a great time with Sir Mojica today.
Yes, and I believe that
Feeling ko
Thomasians.
student mo ulit ako, sir.
Ay.
So, yeah. All right.
Thank you so much, Sir Jose, for giving us your time here in our mini interview for
Always
the
a pleasure,
media.
sir.
Thomasians, it's always important that we safeguard the truth and that everybody is inclined to the right of information through the use of the media.
Yes, and we must avoid growing into a culture of passive dependence on the media. Take the initiative to explore and fact-check information. Remember that the mass media is more than just news and credible sources, as there's also fake news.
And that is why we must look out and watch how heavy we rely on it. Thomasians, stay vigilant and make the extra step in thoroughly keeping yourself up to date in order to avoid getting caught up in online trolls and misinformation. Sometimes a small step goes a long way. Giving you the latest and most talked about current social issues and trends.
Sharing different sides of a story and enlightening you through contrasting perspectives and points of view.
It is a dire need to wake up and stay informed. Once again, I am Angel De Castro.
And I am Sherwin Harrow. This has been
Wake Up, Thomasians!